So, ladies and gentlemen, today is the day that we launch our social media initiative through the Lally Foundation. The initiative is called The Truth, and the purpose of this social media campaign is to foster a more open, honest expression on social media. All too often, social media is used as a forum for people to put the perfect versions of themselves out there, the perfect picture with the perfect filter of the most amazing thing they did that day. But we're not putting out there the 10 attempts it took to get that picture right, or the picture without the filter, or the myriad of other things we did that day that were far less compelling. We're not putting out there our depressions, our anxieties when we were in our room earlier in the day with tears pouring down our face, or losing our temper at our loved ones. We don't put that stuff out there, and so it has these perfect incarnations of everyone that are floating around on social media. They have this negative impact on the collective mental health because we see these perfect versions of people and we start to compare ourselves against that naturally. We see these perfect versions, and we know that we're not perfect. We know that we have our ups and downs, our successes and our failures, and so we start to feel less than. And so the purpose of the Truth campaign is to encourage people to put their truth out there using the hashtag #MyTruth. That truth could be anything from an experience, a story of an experience with anxiety, depression, a moment of anger. It could be something as simple as just a messy house, or a bad hair day, or a face without makeup. But we want to foster these more authentic expressions of who we all are so that we can forge deeper connections with one another, not connections that are founded on this superficial ground of perfection, but connections that are forged through our authentic selves, the strengths and the weaknesses, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So to kick off this campaign, we had a wonderful live event scheduled for this evening at the Lyriadendron Mansion in Bel Air, Maryland. We had a whole bunch of wonderful sponsors. The Lyriadendron was offering us their space in support of our work in mental health in the community and beyond. Hill Culinary was providing a wonderful amount of food for all the attendees. Song Builder Studios had helped us volunteer their studio and their talent to help us craft the song, The Truth, that is and will continue to serve as the soundtrack for the event and the campaign. We had musical acts, 4 artists: Mark DePasquale Jr., Jake Wilder Chapman, and Shay and the Big Infinite were all scheduled to play acoustic sets, during which we, because I'm part of Big Infinite, we're going to share songs and then also stories of how those songs related to their mental health journey. And we had a bunch of artists who had prepared pieces that, again, spoke to this, their experiences, lived experiences with depression and anxiety. And a whole bunch of wonderful volunteers, and we had coverage on WMAR TV 2 News Baltimore in preparation for the event. We were good to go, and then it became increasingly concerns were brought to our attention of people attending the event because of the ongoing public health concerns with the coronavirus. And as those concerns continued to mount, we made the decision that we should postpone the event. Not the campaign. The campaign effectively starts today, but the event we're going to hold in the coming months. And so we're going to have the same artists, the same sponsors, the same venue, the same everything. It's just going to happen a couple months down the line. But we didn't want to hold a mental health awareness event that was causing people concern and anxiety to come out to, especially when it was an event that is focused on social media, when we could launch the event on social media and continue with the purpose of the initiative, The Truth, without any sort of interruption. So we are going to launch today. We're going to continue to provide content on social media over the coming weeks and months, and we want you to be a part of that. So submit your truth using the hashtag #MyTruth on your own social media pages, or submit it to us directly through our landing page, which I will make sure is in the copied below, so you can click that link and visit the landing page. And so you can submit your pictures, your videos directly to us, and then we'll share it on our pages, or you can share it from your social media using the hashtag MyTruth. And if you tag us, we'll make sure that we repost it, share it, retweet it, regram it, whatever I'm supposed to say or call that stuff. But we want to continue to foster just open, honest expressions. And anytime you see somebody using the hashtag MyTruth, send them love, send them support, leave a compassionate comment. Let's encourage this in one another, because as our foundation motto, together we will heal. So for my truth, I'm going to borrow a little bit from what my band, The Big Infinite, and I were going to do tonight. And I'm just going to share a song with you, a song that is the theme song for this campaign, a song that is the impetus for this entire campaign. The song's called The Truth. I wrote the lyrics to the song a couple years ago, and my band we finished it, production of it more than, I want to say a year and a half ago with Song Builder Studios and producer Steve Antonelli. But when I wrote the lyrics, it was very much an expression of my experience with a particular depressive element in my life, which for me was my career in the music business. By some standards, I had a reasonable amount of success. My bandmates and I toured around the U.S. and played a bunch of cool shows and festivals and released a whole bunch of studio albums. But it was never enough for me. It was never enough for my brain. It was the finish line just kept moving and moving and moving, and it was my perspective that was flawed, not our careers, but my perspective was a depressive one. And so every inch felt like a mile. Every inch of success that we achieved, it felt like a mile. Every day just felt like I was trudging through the music business. This thing, music, that I loved and felt so passionate about, had become such a depressive force in my life. And so, I put those feelings, those thoughts into the form of a song. And then about 2/3 of the way writing through the song, I felt a bit of catharsis. And you'll notice in the bridge of this song, the tone shifts. And it's to one of acceptance and compassion. And this is what I have found in my journey, that the more I am willing to express myself openly and honestly, the more that I find a willingness to accept myself as I am, and the more that my friends, family, the people that I come into contact with me accept me as I am. And it's this unconditional acceptance that I experience more and more, just as I'm willing to put myself out there and to put my truth out there. And certainly it was daunting in the beginning to be more honest in my songs, or to be more honest if I was having a conversation with somebody. And I've shared this story before. My first experience with open, honest expression was at my father's funeral. I think, as most of you know by now, my dad passed away back in 2014 after a bout of depression culminated in suicide. And I gave his eulogy, and in that eulogy, for the first time in my life, I was open and honest about our family's experience with mental illness and my father's suicide. And much to my surprise, following the service, people came up to me not only to offer their condolences, but to thank me for what I had said, and to share their own stories of struggle with depression, anxiety, friends of theirs who had attempted suicide, and who they had lost to suicide. And in that moment, and perhaps the place that I would least have expected it, I felt a tremendous amount of connection with people. And it was kind of ironic, because depression and anxiety had always been the things that had isolated me from the world for 20-some years. Social anxiety really forced me into this box, sort of my own little world. And in that moment, depression and anxiety were the things that were connecting me to people, and the only variable that had changed was my willingness to talk about it, my willingness to be honest and to be truthful. And so I digressed a bit, but this song, called The Truth, is about my experience with depression, and how the more I was willing to express that, the more I felt a tremendous amount of healing within, and healing and connection with my community. Think I'm out, my time has come. The truth, it hurts and so does love. Followed my heart into my grave, a lost cause till my dying day. I gave my all, yet still no peace. What's a dream but war for me? So I go with the chips I fall. The best case, I'm an afterthought. Take my tears and toss them away for me. 'Cause I keep holding on, and they're all that's left. Nothing more moving than the truth. Nothing more moving than the truth. Of all the judgment, doubt and evil on the tip of every tongue. Oh, how to come to know a world so devoid of any love. Me the captain of the captives, me the king of all the fools, me the big fish lost forever in the depths of shallow pools. Take my tears and toss them away for me, 'cause I keep holding on, and they're all that's left. Nothing more moving than the truth. Nothing more moving than the truth. And it's moving me to you. Nothing more moving than the truth. I won't run from your pain, my dear, I won't run. I'll be right by your bedside till your darkest day comes, and stay till it goes, and long after it's gone. Whether you're here with me, or whether you're lost, 'cause I know how the road can burn up like the sun, and I know how the stars can bear down from above all the love and the pain. Boy, I know it's too much. See, I am right here, and I'll never be anywhere else. Me the captain of the captives, me the king of all the fools, me the big fish lost forever to the depths. I find my truth. Nothing more moving than the truth. Nothing more moving than the truth. And it's moving me to you. Nothing more moving than the truth. The truth. The truth. The truth. Nothing more moving than the truth. Take my tears and toss them away for me, 'cause I keep holding on, and they're all that's left. So, that is the song The Truth. My bandmates and I, The Big Infinite, we released it on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff at the end of last week in support of this campaign. So you can check that song out there. Once again, produced by Steve Antonelli, Song Builder Studios. It sounds entirely different than that acoustic version you just heard. Steve Antonelli is a phenomenal producer, and the work that he did on that song, that DJ and Andre added to that song, it takes it to an entirely new level, so definitely check that out. That's all I have for now. We're going to do continued posts from the other artists who are scheduled to perform. I'm certain I'll do another song at some point, and perhaps I can connect with DJ and Andre and we'll do a song and post it up here as part of the campaign. But once again, we encourage everyone to please participate and put some truth out there on your social media pages, or again, submit to our landing page, which I will include the link below. Use the hashtag MyTruth, and it can be something that you've been wanting to put out there for a long time, some deeper expression of truth. Again, depression, anxiety, some life circumstances that have been difficult for you to navigate. It can be something as simple as I said, as a messy house or something along those lines, or it could even just be a show of solidarity. Just putting hashtag MyTruth and posting that. Just an opportunity for all of us to connect on a deeper level. So thank you for listening, and in advance, I'm going to thank you in advance for your support of the campaign. And one more time, I want to thank our sponsors for what was to be the live event this evening: Hill Culinary, Lyriodendron, Songbitter Studios, all the wonderful volunteers, and the committee. And we'll see you when we postpone, when we get that postponement date, the rescheduled date for the live event. But till then, stay tuned to Ed Lally Foundation on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter as we continue to foster the truth on social media.